You eat healthy, you exercise, you try to do everything right, but still, your legs feel heavier, stairs seem steeper, standing up takes more effort, and walking, something so natural, now feels like a chore. We often blame age, but what if the real reason is something you're already doing every day, believing it's healthy? Here's what almost no one talks about. It might not be what you've stopped doing. It might be what you're still doing with full confidence. That's slowly hurting your body. That's the surprising truth. Even good habits can backfire if your body has changed. Millions of seniors make this simple mistake. It feels safe, natural, even smart. Because for decades we've heard, fruits are good for you. And most are, but not all. Some of the most common fruits, yes, the ones sitting in your kitchen right now, might be contributing to joint pain, leg fatigue, balance issues, knee stiffness. How? By spiking blood sugar, aggravating inflammation, and affecting muscle recovery, especially in aging bodies. You see, as we get older, our systems slow down. Blood flow weakens, muscles take longer to recover, circulation becomes more fragile, and digestion becomes more sensitive. The foods we once thrived on, foods that energized us, can now turn against us when combined with slow metabolism, poor circulation, or medications. Some fruits are high in acids, others in sugar. Some contain compounds that seem harmless until they accumulate in the body. And here's the worst part. These effects don't show up overnight. They build up quietly, day after day, week after week, until one day you realize your legs don't move like they used to. You feel stiffness in the morning. You avoid stairs without knowing why. Your balance is off. Your muscles feel drained. And all the while, you're doing what you were told was healthy. That's what makes this so dangerous. It hides behind good intentions. But it's not too late to change. The good news is, once you understand which fruits might be working against you, you can start making smarter, safer choices. It's not about fear. It's about clarity. It's about making your plate match the stage of life you're in. In this video series, we'll reveal 7 fruits that are commonly eaten by seniors, yet may be quietly weakening your legs, damaging your joints, and reducing your mobility. If mobility matters to you, if independence is something you want to protect, then this message is for you. Once you remove what's hurting you and replace it with what helps, you'll feel stronger, lighter, and more confident with every step. And if this speaks to you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. And comment yes below if your legs have felt weaker lately, even though you're doing everything right. Let's begin with the first fruit. It's tropical. It's juicy. It's praised for fighting inflammation. But for older bodies, it may be doing the opposite. In part 2, we'll talk about pineapple and why this seemingly healthy fruit could be contributing to hidden joint pain. Stay with me. You won't want to miss this. In part 1, we revealed a surprising truth. Not every fruit is safe for seniors. Some fruits, despite their healthy reputation, may silently weaken your legs, fuel joint pain, and reduce mobility, especially after 60. Today, let's talk about one of the most praised fruits in the health world. It's bright, it's tropical, it's packed with vitamin C, and it contains a compound that's celebrated for fighting inflammation. We're talking about pineapple, but for older adults, this fruit may be doing the exact opposite. Pineapple is often seen as a superfruit. Thanks to bromelain, it's been marketed as nature's anti-inflammatory. Athletes, nutritionists, and health magazines all recommend it for reducing swelling and improving recovery. But here's what they rarely say. That same pineapple can quietly work against seniors, especially those already dealing with joint inflammation or circulation issues. Why? Because pineapple is acidic and high in natural sugars, a combination that can create problems for aging bodies. Let's break it down. 1. Acidity. Pineapple contains citric and malic acids. These can irritate sensitive tissues, including the linings around your joints. If you already have arthritis or inflammation, that acid acts like fuel on a low flame. Over time, your knees may swell, ankles may ache, hips may feel tighter after meals. 2. Natural sugar. Pineapple might taste light, but it causes a rapid rise in blood sugar. For seniors with slower insulin response, this sugar spike disrupts circulation. And when blood flow to your legs is compromised, oxygen delivery suffers. That leads to fatigue, swelling, and heaviness in your lower body. 3. Drug interaction risk. If you're on medications, especially blood thinners, bromelain can interfere with drug absorption. It may enhance or reduce the medication's effect, creating unpredictable risks. All of this happens quietly, slowly, with no immediate warning signs. You eat pineapple thinking it will help, when in fact, it may be slowly worsening your discomfort. You might notice a dull ache in your calves after eating pineapple, swelling in your ankles, even when you've been resting, a strange tightness in your knees that lingers throughout the day, feeling as if your legs are dragging, without reason. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Many seniors experience this and never connect it to their diet, because pineapple feels like a smart choice, and in younger bodies, it often is. But after 60, when your blood vessels are more fragile and your recovery is slower, pineapple can become part of the problem. This isn't about cutting out everything, it's about being informed. If you love pineapple, enjoy it sparingly, not as a daily snack. Consider combining it with fiber or protein to slow sugar absorption, or swap it for lower acid fruits like papaya or blueberries. Remember, you're not giving up health, you're choosing to adapt, to eat for the body you have now. Next, we're uncovering a fruit that's sweet, soft, and known for helping with cramps. But is it really helping, or quietly adding to the strain? In part 3, we reveal the truth about bananas. Make sure you're subscribed, because what you don't know can hurt your legs. In the last part, we uncovered the truth about pineapple, a fruit celebrated for its anti-inflammatory power, but potentially harmful for aging joints and circulation due to its acidity and sugar load. Now, let's move to something even more common, something that almost every senior has on their kitchen counter right now. It's soft, sweet, and praised for muscle health and potassium. We're talking about bananas. But here's the twist. For people over 60, bananas may be quietly draining muscle strength and increasing inflammation. Bananas are often called a perfect food for athletes. They're marketed as a source of quick energy, muscle recovery, and cramp relief. And while that may be true for young, active bodies, it doesn't always apply to older ones. Bananas contain high levels of natural sugar, fast-digesting carbohydrates, a relatively high glycemic load for a fruit. Here's the problem. In seniors, the insulin response is slower. When you eat a banana, it causes a quick spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash. This roller coaster can interrupt muscle recovery, trigger inflammation in joints, reduce circulation efficiency in your legs. You may feel a temporary energy boost, but it's often followed by leg heaviness, cramping in your calves, dull muscle fatigue during simple movements. Bananas also encourage fluid retention, especially in seniors who have high blood pressure or heart conditions. That retained fluid settles in your feet, ankles, and knees. The result? Stiff joints, swollen lower legs, a sense of dragging or heaviness in the limbs. You might not notice it right away, but if you often feel your legs are tight or slow after meals, this could be part of the reason. What makes bananas tricky is that they seem so healthy. They're recommended for cramps, and yes, they contain potassium. But potassium alone doesn't make them a miracle food. In fact, many seniors already get enough potassium through balanced diets or supplements, and the added sugar and carbs in bananas can outweigh the benefits if your body can't regulate them well. You might notice swelling around your ankles an hour after eating, calf tightness when climbing stairs, a foggy sense of energy followed by fatigue. morning stiffness after having a banana before bed. Sound familiar? This doesn't mean you can never eat bananas again, but it does mean they may not be the best everyday choice if you're over 60. Consider eating bananas in smaller amounts, or pair them with a protein or healthy fat to slow absorption. Or better yet, swap them occasionally for berries, sliced pears, a boiled egg with half a fruit. These options support energy without the crash and help reduce the chance of swelling or stiffness. In part 4, we'll explore a fruit that seems harmless because it's tiny, but its sugar type makes it one of the most inflammatory snacks for aging joints. We're talking about grapes. Subscribe now and stay tuned. This next one surprises a lot of people. In part 3, we uncovered how bananas, despite their reputation, can silently contribute to joint stiffness, muscle fatigue, and poor circulation in seniors. Today, let's turn our attention to something even smaller, yet surprisingly more inflammatory. It's tiny, juicy, sweet, and most people eat it by the handful without thinking twice. We're talking about grapes. They look innocent. They taste refreshing. But in aging bodies, grapes can quietly trigger joint pain, swelling, and stiffness. Grapes have long been associated with heart health. They're packed with antioxidants, low in fat, and easy to snack on. They're often seen as the safe, sweet treat. But when it comes to leg health and joint strength in seniors, grapes may not be as harmless as they seem. Grapes are high in fructose, a natural sugar that goes straight to the liver. Unlike glucose, fructose is converted into fat and uric acid. And here's the key. Uric acid builds up in joints. This leads to sudden toe pain at night, burning knees after a walk, throbbing ankles without injury. Even a few handfuls of grapes a day can elevate uric acid, especially in seniors with slower metabolic clearance. And it doesn't stop there. Fructose also fuels chronic inflammation, especially when consumed regularly. Over time, this can worsen conditions like gout, arthritis, joint stiffness, morning swelling in legs and feet. Unlike apples or pears, grapes are effortless to snack on. There's no peeling, no prep. You pop one in your mouth, and before you know it, the bowl is empty. That's a problem, because the sugar content adds up quickly. 1 cup of grapes contains around 23 grams of sugar, nearly as much as a soda. So while grapes feel light and healthy, they can spike blood sugar, promote joint inflammation, and increase swelling in the lower body. You might notice foot or toe pain at night, especially the big toe. Puffy ankles the day after snacking on grapes. A dull ache in your knees after sitting too long. Leg stiffness when climbing stairs. If these symptoms sound familiar, grapes could be playing a role. This isn't about quitting fruit. It's about choosing smarter options. Instead of snacking on grapes, try sliced cucumbers with a pinch of sea salt. Eat a handful of blueberries or raspberries. Add a few cherry tomatoes with olive oil. These alternatives are lower in sugar, rich in antioxidants, and easier on your joints. They support movement, not inflammation. In the next part, we'll explore a fruit that's famous for hydration. It's over 90% water, but inside, it behaves more like candy, and may be quietly wearing down your legs. We're talking about watermelon. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's next. In this part 4, we expose the hidden dangers of grapes, how their fructose content can trigger uric acid buildup and chronic joint inflammation. Now let's explore a fruit that feels harmless. It's light, it's juicy, it's 90% water. Watermelon is often seen as the ultimate hydrator. It's sweet, refreshing, and easy to eat on hot days. But for seniors, it might be doing more harm than good. Watermelon looks like the perfect fruit for summer. Low in calories, high in water, easy to digest. Often served at health retreats or recommended in weight loss plans. But here's the hidden truth. Watermelon has a very high glycemic index. This means it rapidly raises blood sugar, even though it doesn't taste overly sweet. The spike might be brief, but in seniors, the effects can last much longer than you think. That spike is especially risky for seniors with slower insulin response. When blood sugar rises too quickly, the body releases a surge of insulin to compensate. But as we age, our cells become more insulin resistant. So instead of using that sugar for energy, the body stores it, and inflammation rises. Where does that inflammation often show up? Knees, ankles, calves, hips, especially in those already dealing with arthritis. You may feel leg heaviness after a meal, swelling around the ankles, burning knees during a walk, a tight sensation that lingers for hours. And the connection to watermelon is easy to miss because it feels so light. But light texture doesn't mean light effect. Younger bodies can usually manage sugar surges, but after 60, the metabolic slowdown makes these spikes more damaging. Watermelon doesn't just raise blood sugar, it does it fast. This triggers cycles of energy crash, joint inflammation, circulatory strain. When circulation is compromised, oxygen delivery to the legs is reduced. Muscles feel fatigued. Movement feels slower. Pain lingers. The result is slower recovery, increased fatigue, and mobility that feels off. You might even notice that simple walks feel harder on days you eat more watermelon. After eating watermelon, pay attention if you experience a dull ache in your calves, swelling in your lower legs by evening, difficulty climbing stairs, restlessness in your knees at night, lightheadedness followed by sluggishness. If so, your body may be reacting to the sugar load, even though it came from a hydrating fruit. Hydration matters, but there are better ways to do it. Instead of watermelon, try coconut water, low sugar, full of electrolytes, sliced cucumbers with lemon, berries with a glass of water, chia seed water with lime. You can also stay hydrated by increasing foods with natural electrolytes, like celery, spinach, or citrus water with sea salt. These options hydrate without the sugar spike and support your joints and circulation. Next, we'll tackle a fruit known for its healthy reputation. It's crisp, it's green, it's often labeled the safe choice. But for seniors, it could be causing unexpected pain in the hips, knees, and thighs. We're talking about green apples. Don't miss the final part, coming next. In part 5, we broke down how watermelon, despite being 90% water, can spike blood sugar and contribute to joint inflammation and circulation problems in seniors. Now let's turn to a fruit with a reputation for being safe, clean, and even better than its sweeter cousins. We're talking about green apples. They're crisp, tart, low in sugar, often considered the smart alternative to red apples. But here's what most people don't know. Green apples may cause discomfort and inflammation in aging joints, especially when eaten regularly. Green apples are often chosen for their low glycemic index. They're not as sweet. They're used in detox recipes. And they're a go-to snack for people trying to avoid processed sugar. But that tartness comes from malic acid, a compound that can become irritating for sensitive systems. Malic acid gives green apples their sour bite. But in older adults, this acid can irritate the gut lining, trigger inflammation in the joints, make hip, knee, or thigh pain worse over time. If your joints are already inflamed or arthritic, malic acid acts like a subtle irritant, fueling the discomfort silently. And because green apples are often eaten raw or alone, the acid hits your system quickly and unbuffered. Though less sweet than red apples, green apples still contain natural sugars. For seniors with sluggish metabolism or insulin resistance, these sugars can raise blood sugar, cause energy crashes, lead to nighttime cramps or morning leg stiffness. You might feel tightness in your thighs or a dull soreness in your calves, not realizing it traces back to your daily apple snack. After eating green apples consistently, you might notice mild heat or tingling in your legs or feet, joint pain that lingers longer than usual, trouble sleeping due to restless legs, hip or knee tightness when getting out of bed. These may not seem serious at first, but they add up over time reducing flexibility and comfort. Most people don't eat green apples once a week. They eat them daily. And that means your system never gets a break from the acidity. Just like how constant pressure wears down a surface, repeated acid exposure, especially in a sensitive body, can wear down your resilience. You don't have to give up apples entirely. Instead, try slicing green apple and eating it with a tablespoon of nut butter. Swapping it for a low-acid fruit like pear or papaya. Baking your apples lightly to reduce the acid content. And always listen to your body. If pain or tightness increases after certain snacks, it's worth adjusting. Now that we've revealed all 7 fruits that may quietly weaken senior legs and joints, here's the key message. It's not about cutting everything out. It's about eating smart for your age. Your body isn't the same as it was at 30. Your diet shouldn't be either. Make choices that work for your joints, your circulation, and your long-term strength. Less pain, more mobility, better mornings. And if this series helped you see food differently, consider sharing it with someone you care about. If this video helped you better understand how small food choices affect your legs, joints, and daily energy, imagine what the next one could do. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss real, science-backed tips designed specifically for seniors who want to stay strong, independent, and pain-free. Your health journey doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned for more empowering content, made with you in mind.